Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Do me a favor, hit that like button. And please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. Before we get started, couple of announcements. Announcement number one: we are rolling to Sierra Leone. We're rolling to Sierra Leone next month. Wow, next month. And if you don't know, now you know. Maybe I said that too early. Citizenship is back on in Sierra Leone. If you don't know, now you know. So please hit the like button. Please visit donfo.africa. I apologize. Please visit donfo.africa to learn more. They've made a couple of changes. The major changes, you have to come twice now. So the days of rolling to Sierra Leone and leaving with a passport within 2 weeks, those days are over. Those days are over. Now you have to come twice, and there's a 1-year cooling off period. So every April and December are going to be the swearing in ceremonies. Again, every April and December are going to be the swearing in ceremony. So if you come this April, except for this April, there will not be a swearing in ceremony this April. So if you come this April, you will not get your passport till next April. If you come this December, you will not get your passport to the following December of 2026. Now, the group that came with me this past November, they're going to get their passports in December. So that's the blessing. So Sierra Leone, if you're interested in starting that citizenship process, please visit donfo.africa. When you visit donfo.africa, please include your email address. I'm sorry, your phone number. I'm all over the place. I apologize. Usually I do not go live this late. So please include your phone number when you email me. When you go to donfo.africa, please include your phone number and I'll give you a call back. I'm not going to. So when you guys ask your questions, you guys have, obviously you have questions. It's easier for me to respond via telephone versus, a 3-paragraph response, because you guys be asking a lot of questions, and that's fine. I want you to ask as many questions as possible, but it's just easier for me to give you a call and we can chat over phone versus me typing a thesis. So yeah, so please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa to learn. I'm sorry, type in a dissertation. There we go. Dissertation, not a thesis, a dissertation. You guys know what I mean. So please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Also, we're going to Nigeria in August. Again, we're going to Nigeria in August, Zanzibar in September, Namibia and South Africa in November, and then we're rolling back to Sierra Leone in December. So visit donfo.africa to learn more. Let's jump into today's topic, and this is where we're at pretty much, guys. Finally, Black Americans are waking up. You're not Africans, you're Aboriginals and the Black Europeans that were expelled from Europe by Oliver Cromwell and the Catholic Church. What happened to the conscious community? It used to be ox. It used to be African medallions. It used to be we blackity black. It used to be we are from Africa. And Africa is the motherland. It used to be, we're victims of the mafia and the slave trade, and we African and the red, black, and green. See, here we go. Here we go. You know what, AJ? Hold on. Just for you, AJ Niger, I'm going to find a picture of E40 rocking something African. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. Hold on. I'm going to find something. I'm gonna find something with E40 in Africa. See, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. But anyways, listen, let's get back on topic. I got distracted. So we went from that, or not as in we, not me, but you know what I mean. Till we went from that to I'm not African. I'm a Hebrew Native American Moor. We the Native Americans, we the Indians. We got pseudo information now. When Christopher Columbus came to America, he saw black people, but for some odd reason, he called them Indians and not Negro and not Negroes. Yeah, we the Eskimos now. Those are we the original Native Americans. Those are the what's the term they use? As far as they crossed the Bering Strait. What's the term? What do they call the Native Americans, the real Native Americans now? I mean, what do they call the pseudo Native Americans? The I ain't black, I'm Native American. Those pseudo Native Americans, what do they call the Native Americans? What's the term they use? The Mongoloids. I'm sorry, Mongoloids. You know, those aren't the real Native Americans. Those are the Mongoloids who crossed over the Bering Strait and they came in contact with us the black Aboriginal man. When Christopher Columbus came to America, he saw black folks. But why did he call them Indian and not Negro or Africans? Because you do know Spain and Portugal were in contact with Africa and they were in contact with East India. But he called them Indians because he thought he was in East India. He didn't call them Africans. So that's why that argument is hilarious. We the Hebrews and the Africans knew that we was Hebrews. That's why they sold us, even though, you know, um, Christianity or Judaism didn't come in didn't hit the west coast of Africa until what the 1800s. It's all this pseudo information now to justify not being African. It's all pseudo information to justify or to form this argument of being we is the Native American, Hebrew, Jews, Moors. And I'm gonna give you this is my theory on why black people want to attach themselves to Israel and the United States of America. This is my theory. This is my theory. Israel and the United States of America. And I want to throw in Egypt as well. Even though Egypt, where the pyramids are, that we're so in love with, is an absolute dump. Egypt is a dump. I'm sorry. Now, once you get into the Anzwan and southern Egypt is better. But the Egypt that black folks romanticize is an absolute dump. I'm sorry, it's a dump. If it wasn't for those pyramids, it'll be the hood, the projects. It's a dump. So I'm gonna throw in Egypt, even though there was a black African presence in that part of Egypt and played a role in building the pyramids. But I have to throw in Egypt for this argument, for the sake of this argument. Yeah, Egypt's a dump. I said it. Egypt is a dump. Outside of those pyramids, nothing is there. Unfinished buildings, concrete, and desert. That's Egypt. Unfinished buildings, concrete, and desert. That's Egypt. But when you go to Aswan, further down the Nile, it gets better. But again, that part of Egypt where black folks romanticize or in love with is an absolute dump. Okay. But we have to throw in Egypt. Israel, the United States of America are two of the most powerful countries on the planet. And black folks want to find a way to attach themselves to that power. Right, that's right, because the Nile flows the opposite direction, right? So it'll be further up to go to Anzwan because it flows in reverse, something like that. That's right. So black folks want to attach themselves to that power. So they have created all types of pseudo ways and made up all types of pseudo information to attach themselves to the United States and to Israel. Then when it comes to Egypt, because Egypt is romanticized because of those pyramids, we want to attach ourselves to the pyramids, even though our ancestors come from West Africa, not the Sudan and not Egypt. Yes, I'm not no I know I'm not. I'm not no Hebrew Indian. I am not claiming to be no Hebrew Indian. I am a descendant of Africans who came to America, specifically West Africans who came to America against their own free will. And I have roots in Mississippi, Texas, and Chicago. But that's the truth. That's why folks want to claim being Indian and being Hebrews is because it's romanticized and the power of, and an amount of power that's these countries have. That's why. That's why. And I guess being African just isn't sexy enough. Being African just isn't sexy enough. Being African just isn't sexy enough. Somebody said, put the link in the chat room. I'm going to put the link in the chat room. So if you notice, like, the whole, and I noticed this shift. It's like either you're Indian, it's the I'm not African starter kit. Either you're Indian, Hebrew, or you are FBA ADOS. So that's where the majority of the conscious community has shifted to, had disappeared to. We Indian, Hebrews, FBA, ADOS. And where the slave ships at? Where the slave ships at? Ain't no slave ships. Ain't no way the slave ships could have survived the journey across the Atlantic Ocean. Ain't no way. That's the story they're coming up with now. Ain't no way. We was already here. So that's what's going on, guys. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in, if you disagree, You're more than welcome to call in. Let me read this super chat too. Shout out to Black Seeking. Thank you for the 999 holla. Hi, my brother. Gods of ancestors continue sure life. Hi, my Sierra Leonean brother. Guys, links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. You ain't got to eat goat. I love goat though. Go ahead, Colin.
Now you know your Uncle Carl had to call in, for this topic, Now I've been telling you for years about the chicken hawk, the chicken wing, Reverend Chicken Wing, Native American Negro and whatnot, The whole thing, brother, is this, right? Me personally, I accepted the fact I'm sub-Saharan African, and I take the L that comes along with that. I mean, my ancestors from the Congo probably didn't really build any great civilization. When I look at parts of the Congo right now, deep in the Congo, people still live in mud huts, primitive, whatever like that. Well, whatever it is, you have to just take ownership of that. And bottom line is, if you learn to, I learned to love myself for what I was.
Yeah, Colin, we lost you. You got that Liberian Wi-Fi.
Okay, I'm back now.
Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I basically look at this like it's all about self hate. I seen this guy Desaline did a video with these people are now saying that this transatlantic slave trade didn't happen. Forget about all the letters that they wrote. Forget about there's actually a proof of photograph of Mobile, Alabama, of the last slave ship and everything like that. But somehow people, when I'm in Liberia right now, I can't tell between Liberians and
Oh boy, Colin's on his Obama phone, and
Charlotte, North Carolina. I can't tell the difference. I was riding around Monrovia today, right? And I said, after I saw that, right, I was driving around Monrovia, right? I said, now, if I saw these same black people in Charlotte, would I think they were Indians or I think they were just Africans? Or Africans, right? Same thing when you see black people. Look, you are African. If you think that, go to Africa and whatnot, and no one's gonna say, "Are you Indian?" They're gonna think you're one of the locals. They're gonna think you're one of the locals, and you basically are one of what I'm trying to say tonight. So the whole thing is this: there's people that don't want to be African, and Dinus, this is not big as you think it is, right? It's just online. That's all it is.
I don't know, Colin. I don't know.
No,
I
no,
gotta
Dennis, let me
disagree.
say this. Let me say this. I saw a video today on TikTok. I should have sent it to you. Where this just two African American, beautiful African American sisters were saying, "We're African Americans. We're this. We're that." And this one girl said, "Look, this is notion going around that we're not African. No, we are African." This is like education. You have uneducated black people that got access to social media. You know, Dennis, the only way you could believe that is that you never read a book. I read many books and everything like that, and every book has basic history in them. Basic history 101. If you read enough books and read enough literature, right? The fact that you could actually believe that slavery was a lie and everything like that means that you have never read books. You don't know how to put things together, and your mind is barely literate. Your mind's barely a thing. That's what you have. And these people are getting online and they're spreading stuff. And I don't want us to be taking these people seriously. All we have to do is, which is what I do on my show, right? If somebody comes on there with my show with that, I immediately ban them and block them. That's the message. We cannot engage these people no more. That's exactly what we have to do. If somebody comes in here saying with Turtle Island, I'm not gonna tell you what you do with your channel, but that's what I do. You're gone. You're gone. Yeah, just because the truth is, we all came here from the transatlantic slave trade with Africa. Here, the transatlantic slave trade. That's a historical fact. That's the truth and everything like that. Anything else is a lie. You were not native to America. The Olmecs were not black. The black people didn't build pyramids. We didn't build pyramids. That's not us. We're
Whoa,
not
whoa,
doing
whoa, whoa,
anything.
whoa! Hold on, Colin. Are you saying that the pyramids in Egypt weren't built
They,
by?
they were not. They were not from you and me. We're
Right,
sub-Saharan Africa.
correct. Okay,
If there was some black people, there was some black people not related to us.
got you.
You
Okay,
know,
got you. Okay,
we're not too far from Elvis's people.
right.
We're from sub-Saharan African, the bottom of even African society. That's what we were, slave centers. But look what we became out of all that. It's remarkable what we came from, what Black America came from. Like that's a testament right there. And like I always said, to me, Diana, the most remarkable thing we've done in 500 years was Liberia. That's the more I'm here right now, and I still say that. That's my pyramids. You want to talk about pyramids? When I go down to Monrovia and I look at today I was near the embassy and I saw the Benson Street, the temple, Masonic temple. That's what I take pride in. I don't give a damn. That's something I know my people built. You know, so I don't need no dang telling me. So I'm a Hebrew, I'm a this, I'm a that. No, I'm a Black African, right? My ancestors returned to Africa, built something, and we built a legacy here in America. We built Tulsa, we built Greenwood, we built all these things, we built Harlem. So I take pride in what we did. We came out of slavery and kick these people in the head on the way out. All I need, I don't need to you tell me I'm an Indian. I don't need nobody telling me I'm a freaking Hebrew. I don't need nobody telling me I'm you got Negroes walking around talking about the samurai were black. They got these AI. Yo, I'm serious. They got AIs now, like black in the samurai face. This is getting ridiculous. This is not a hand. They got now with AI. They're freaking faking history and whatnot. They say the samurai are black, and so in other words, basically the Japanese women were just light skinned chicks, whatnot. I mean,
Hey, Colin,
nothing,
your
nothing surprises.
connection.
I'm gonna get off in a second because I'm in bed right now with the wife, and everything like that, so I can't really talk. I wish I knew we would just show up and set my computer up. I want to
Uh-huh.
set my computer up and whatnot. But is that Elvis on?
Yeah, Elvis is on. Go ahead, Elvis.
All right. What's up, Dennis?
What's
What's
going
up,
on?
Colin?
Yeah.
All right. Look, I mean, I don't mind it, right? I don't mind people who
Before
have.
Elvis, you always say this. Okay, look, let
Oh
me tell you something,
Lord,
Elvis. Let me stop you right there.
Dennis, I didn't get 2 seconds.
Oh no, because I know we hold on. I know
Hey,
you
man,
know
it's
what
Uncle
AI is.
Colin, man. It's Uncle Colin. Go ahead.
Check us out, Elvis. It's like this, right? You get a kick out of seeing black people make fools out of themselves in America. I know that. You
Why would you
love you
say that,
love this.
Colin?
You love this stuff. So the bottom line is, look, these are mentally ill black people. These
You
people
didn't
are
let me
mentally
make my
ill.
point. I had a different point to make
No,
than
well,
what you're
but
trying to
you said
insert.
I support this, whatever like
No,
that.
listen to what I'm saying,
Mental illness. Now, what if I came here and said you guys have
Tyler.
crime
Let me
people, whatever
speak,
like
brother.
that? Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
All right. So I'm just gonna give you an example, and for some black people, this applies to them, right? Say, take the basketball player Tyree Irving, right? Whose mother was a member of an Indian tribe, and he has embraced his Indian heritage. Now, when you look at
Oh
him,
Lord, oh Lord.
phenotypically, he looks like a regular black man, but definitely
He
he
is a
has.
black man. He is a black man.
Hold on, Kyla. He definitely has, you know, a sizable, Native American heritage,
Oh,
right? And
stop
he's
that.
embraced it, and he's going along with it. There are some people who have a similar story to him. So I think people who have a genetic, link, an actual genetic link to different people, and they choose to embrace that side of their, identity is fine. Now the Hebrew Israelite thing is a little different because I think they're coming to a conclusion by reading the Bible and thinking that these things apply to my people, and as such, I must be from, the ancient Hebrew Israelites, but they don't have genetic, facts that prove that they are, ancient Hebrew Israelites. So I think that one is on a little bit fishy. But if you have blood and you can prove that you have ancestry from these different groups and you want to get in touch with it, no problem. White people do it. There's some white people that have 20%, Irish, and they tap into their Irish heritage. They go to
Well,
tours
here's
in
the thing. Here's the
Ireland
only
and
pro-
so
only
forth.
there's
They
the only
celebrate Irish
problem.
history.
There's only
So
one
let black
problem with
people do the
that.
same thing.
There's only one problem with that, right? A white man who says he's Irish is not losing. He's not gaining anything or losing anything when he says that, right? Black people who basically it's like this. If you know you're black, right? Like me, I know I'm black, right? The percentage of white blood I have in me does me is really is a where I see me. White people don't have to do that. They could find out they're 10% black or that. It's not gonna affect like Ronda Rousey, that MMA fighter Ronda Rousey. She's like has black ancestry, right? But she knows in this society, this world, she's white. Steven Tyler, he's, his ancestors, he has African American ancestors. You know, and let me tell you something about African Americans, right? First of all, the first African
So,
Americans.
Kyla, are you saying that if you have a majority, say somebody is 60% black, they can't claim the other 40% of their white
Well, no,
ancestry?
let me put it to you like this, Elvis. This is how it works. I can't stand the phone keeps going out of me. Anyway, this is how it works. Black people who came to this country before 1619 were called Creoles. These people came from Spain, Portugal, the Netherlands, and everything. They were dumped into America. Most black people by the time 1800, most black people who were free in America were mulattoes, octoroons. And that was the free blacks, right? Slave in America meant you were African descent, so they put a stigma on being an African descent. That was a slave. After slavery, somehow both groups of black people mixed together and became colored, you know? And so, therefore, yeah, you do have black people who have Indian ancestry, white ancestry, and pure African ancestry all in one because we became one people, one culture, the colored Negro American culture. That was Black America, So we do have people who do have Indian and white, but what I'm saying is we all always traditionally, no matter what your percentage of black is, you always identified as black, as color or black or Negro, then African American and
Did
whatnot.
you
That's what we
say
were.
no matter what percentage of black you have, you always identify as black?
No, no. What I'm saying is, what I'm talking about, when we're talking about heritage, right? We're not like the Dominicans, where the average black person has 20% African ancestors. Majority of African Americans have at least 60 to 99% African DNA, and we're the only group of black people that has not been in the West that hasn't been destroyed really by race mixture.
But Kyla, though, what about the other black people who have 50% of African American DNA? What do you
What do you say?
classify them as?
Well, if you visibly, phenotypically, right? If I go by, if one of your parents is black, one of your parents is white, and you got 50-50, you're biracial. You know, when I say basically that, let's say you have a bunch of light skinned family, and I got relatives like that, really light skinned. You could tell they got more white in them than black, whatever like that. So let's say you go do the DNA. I bet you anything there's at least 65% still black because they're both their parents and lineage is black. But if you have one white parent and everything like that, even if you have 60%, I think you could claim being part white.
Is Barack Obama black or is he mixed race?
No, he's a mixed race man. He's not black,
Okay.
All
and
right,
that
let me
was a
pass.
big mistake. I think this question came up because Barack Obama, and we hated on Tavis Smiley, but he was absolutely right. He said Barack Obama didn't have our ancestry, right? So we basically, at the time, we always
And let me pass the
race.
mic, Colin. Let me pass the mic to Setu Mom. Go ahead, Setu.
Thank you so much, Dianas. I just wanted to, clarify something that Elvis has said. I respect Elvis, and for the most part, I agree with him on the panel. But for this question in particular, I want to say that um, we it's not about who built the pyramids, it's about history, and people have been persecuted, and as of now there's more pyramids in Africa, like in the Sudan area, where it's a black majority, than it is on the north of, like, actually, like
Yeah,
what
but
people call Egypt.
Those Sudanese are not
You
related
you
to
can
us.
listen, you can listen, and you will know where I'm going through. So those Sudanese are related to me. Like, for example, me, I'm from Senegal, and we have same family names, and I know that I have people in my family that have been taken away from that part of the area where our ancestors and generation have been living, to other places around the world on that exact slave trade. So if you say that, that's not I will not agree with you. And I just will direct you to Sheikh Anta Diop's book, the African Origin of Civilization. Myth or Reality. If you read that book, you will find proof even in the language factor, in all and different areas, characteristics that define like similarity and the same, like even like DNA. So there's a lot of proof out there that I can direct you to. But you don't have the right to generalize to say, oh, we didn't do this. You can consider yourself for your own point of view in research that I didn't do this, but don't generalize. Like that's
Oh,
all I want to say for
all I'm
now.
saying is, brother, you're from Sudan, Senegal. I don't know your history, your tribe, whatever like that. You may have well been descendant of people who I don't know how you got across from South Sudan, building pyramids all the way to the wastelands of Senegal. I don't know how that happened, but if you say,
No, I didn't say that. So if you're not even listening to what I said.
but you said you come from South Sudan.
I didn't say I came from South Sudan.
He said he's from Senegal.
I was born and raised in Senegal, but
But I know, but you said your ancestors.
I have proof and family that trace all the way up to South Sudan.
That's a little far fetched. All I know is, let me tell you something.
Okay, so and to tell you
I did
also,
my
there is people in my tribe, in the Wolof tribe, that have been taken into slavery. And if you go to Philadelphia, you will have proof of families that was taken from Senegal to Philadelphia. You go to the Liberty Bell, and you will
oh,
know for a fact. No, like I just want to tell you, you don't have the right to generalize and go research your own history, get to know, and don't just
oh,
put people on the
I
bucket.
did my
No, you did
DNA.
not. I'm sorry
I did.
about this.
I
You are
did.
very,
I
very
did my
wrong.
DNA. I did, bro. I did my DNA right on Dinosaur Show 6 years ago. Remember that, Dinosaur? You know, most of
Yes.
my DNA came from the Congo. 50,000 years ago, my DNA started. 50,000 years ago, deep in the Congo, right? And I traced everywhere my ancestors were like that. We were nowhere near the Nile River. I got some European ancestry and a little bit of Native American ancestry, but I
I
have
will give you
basically.
that. I will give you that. I will not deny the proof that you have. All I'm saying is the fact that you are from the Congo, that you are no way near related to anywhere from the Nile River, doesn't mean that everybody you generalizing, oh, African American this or black people didn't build this. That's why Diners
Most
was
African
kind of like
Americans
saying,
are from the
oh,
Congo, bro.
yes, hold on, what you saying? You trying to justify, but still, that's not a fact.
Most African Americans come from the Congo, bro. You know,
I mean, says who, Carlos? There's a lot of
Nah,
people that
nah,
came
it's
from
a fact. It's
Nigeria,
a fact.
Most
the
African
Bright of
Americans,
Biafra.
Eastern Nigeria and
Most
the
African
Congo are two
Americans
large
come.
places.
Most African Americans come from Nigeria,
No, Dan. It's Eastern
Nigeria,
Nigeria.
Benin area.
It's
Carlos just
Eastern
hates Nigeria, man.
No,
Yeah,
it's Eastern
Nigeria, Benin area.
Nigeria, Cameroon, and Angola, the Congo. That's what it is.
No,
Eastern
Carlos,
Nigeria.
just face it. You're an anomaly, bro. A lot of people didn't come from Angola. A lot of them came from West Africa.
No. Well, most of those came. Those who went to Brazil and most who went to the South Carolina, like my ancestors, Charleston, South Carolina, Louisiana. We still got a place in Louisiana called Congo Square. These are people from the Congo. Our ancestors that came in the 1600s came from the Congo.
And
Yeah,
let me
People
let
that
me
came
and like he's
later
saying,
on.
that's a
uh,
small, percentage of people,
No,
not
yeah,
the
that was the
majority.
let me pass
majority
the
of
mic.
people, bro.
Let me pass the mic to Free Game. Go ahead, Free Game. Mute yourself.
I mean, Dynas, I don't know why you keep wanting to deny it, but African people been in America, bro.
There's no
Oh
proof.
Lord, oh Lord.
There's no
I
proof.
gotta.
There's
Hold
no
on,
proof.
caller. You gave yourself up, caller. You
Go
you
ahead, Free Game.
contradicting yourself, caller. You just said most people that came to America was Creole. Creoles are mixed Africans and French. So which I'm from Louisiana.
They came in and did your service, bro. They were brought over here
So
by
so so hold on,
Europeans.
hold on.
You ain't indigenous to
So
America, bro.
so the Indians came here from Asia and the Africans
The
didn't.
Indians came over here 10,000 years ago, bro. They're the indigenous
So hold
people.
on, hold on. The Africans
Your
didn't.
black ass,
I'm
brother
asking you.
Tyrone
I'm
is
asking
not
you, caller. The
what?
Africans never came here,
No, they never
and
came
it's
here.
hold on. It's pyramids all over America,
There's no pyramids in America, bro.
bro. It's pyramids all over America.
There
Okay,
ain't no
South America.
pyramids.
Okay, South
You didn't
America.
build you didn't build no
Okay,
pyramids in
okay,
Egypt,
caller.
and you didn't
South
build no
America.
pyramids in America, man. The only
Caller.
thing you ever
South
built,
America,
only
caller.
thing you ever built, the only thing you ever built
Caller.
was a
I'm
mud hut.
asking you a
Free,
question,
free
caller.
game. I have a question for you, brother, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Okay.
Is there a history of a dark skinned people? When I say dark skinned, that look like you today, having a history or civilization base here in in North
No.
or South America? Carla, let him answer, please.
You repeat your question, man.
Is there a history of African, or I won't say African, but people that look like you? I'm guessing you're a black man. Is there a history of your people having a civilization either in North America or in South America? Since you said your people built pyramids in this hemisphere.
Um, I would have to say yes.
Okay, tell us the civilization and the people who ran it.
Well, I wouldn't know who ran it, but I'm telling you that how could we prove that we did the same thing in Africa?
No,
So let me
I'm
ask you a
asking a
question.
specific question. Don't go back to Africa. Just stay right here because you said there are black people here. So you have the
Mhm.
Incas, you have the Mayans. You have different civilizations that have been documented. Is there any of those kinds of civilization for people that look like you in this
We
hemisphere?
we only can go off archaeological evidence, and the archaeological evidence shows that black people been in America.
There's no
Where?
archaeological evidence.
Yeah,
Oh
where's
my
those
God,
evidence?
Dinus.
There,
Okay,
there's no evidence.
For instance, Dinus,
There's no
the
evidence to that,
oldest
bro.
the oldest bones have been found in South America.
Oh boy.
I mean, you say bones, the oldest
Yeah,
bones.
yeah. The only
What,
oldest human remains is in South America.
what does it tell us? Was that person a black person or
Yes,
Indian person?
yes. It's been multiple people found that was black.
I
Multiple.
mean,
Well, let me ask you a
come
free.
on, bro.
There's been multiple people found in New Orleans. A
Oh,
cemetery. It's been
That that
cemeteries.
that 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 that's not true. The oldest human remains are in the Nile River Valley, which is
and
Ethiopia
also the
Ethiopia
Peking.
and
in Uganda.
China.
In
Also the
Uganda.
Peking band. The Peking
Yeah,
band is actually.
I mean, come on,
So
pregame.
hold on, y'all saying that no, we African people never migrated anywhere.
It's possible. Kylo will tell you not because
Let me
he
let me
don't
say
think
Because
this.
Africans can build
The Nigerian
seaworthy
culture,
boats.
the
Check this out.
Nigerian culture is
No, we
not
didn't
native
burn
to
no
Nigeria.
seaworthy.
The
What's
Nigerian culture is not native to
the free
Nigeria.
game? Free game. What's Nigerian culture?
E5 wasn't created in Nigeria.
What?
Yes,
No,
free game. Come on, bro. I
no,
Do
mean,
you
it
know a place
wasn't.
called
Go
Ile
ask any.
Ife?
No, it wasn't. The
free
E5
game. Do you know
divination is not
free
native.
game? Free game. Do you
E5
know it?
divination is not
Free
native to
game, free game. This is what you're gonna do. Free game. You need to drop $4,800 with me, and you need to come to Nigeria with me in August.
E5
Free
divination
game.
is
You need
not.
to free game. You need to
You
drop
talking about
4,800.
somebody that's initiated?
Free game. You need to drop 48. I don't care who initiated you.
E5 did not
Who
originate
in
in
Yeah,
Nigeria,
who
bro.
initiated this
who
guy?
initiated you? You need to get your money back.
Dinus, go
You need
ask
to get your
any
money back.
E5 priest.
You need to get your money back.
E5 did not originate in Nigeria.
I mean,
You
That
if
need
is
he's
a
to
being
get your
fact.
technical,
money back.
Dynast, if he's being technical, he's right? Because then at that
It was,
time,
it was,
Nigeria
I
didn't
mean,
exist.
it was Oyo, it was Ife Empire.
Ife,
No,
yeah.
it
No, but
wasn't. It didn't even originate in Africa, Dinus.
What?
oh
Oh
my,
my God.
free game, free game,
Dinus,
free game.
E5 did not
Oh,
originate in
oh
Africa.
my,
Okay,
It
where did it
originated in the
originate,
Middle
brother?
East.
Where? Where? In
It
the Middle East?
originated in the Middle East. That's a
oh
fact.
my God.
I mean, Dynast,
Go ask any
Dynast, there
E5
has been
priest. They will
rumors,
tell
right?
no,
you.
that's
The
has
Yoruba
been
say they came
debunked.
from Egypt.
That has been
No,
debunked.
E5
Yeah, but so
divination
maybe
did
that's where
That
he's
not.
has
getting
been
that from.
Elvis in free game. Have you been in Ife?
Dinus.
Okay.
Dinus.
Free game.
E5 did
No,
not originate
free
in
game, free
Africa.
game. I challenge you to go to Illy Ife and
Uh, uh,
spread this
uh,
nonsense.
okay, I'm gonna ask you this, Dinus. Where did the E5
I,
divination come from?
it can't.
You got to go and ask the people on the ground, brother. If you're
Free
so
game.
curious.
I challenge you to go to Illy Ife and spread this nonsense and see what happens.
I'm asking you, where did the Nigerian E5 system come from?
Well,
Where did the
It came from
divination system?
Oludumare down to Orumila, right?
No, it come from a system called geomancy. And geomancy originated where? It originated in the Middle East. That's a
But
fact.
no,
who told you to
no,
come from that system? Where you get that information from?
Bro, oh my
no.
God! Go ask
Y'all making
any
yeah.
Nigerian priest where E5 originated from.
I'm at the source every like 2-3 times a year.
Okay, and they would tell you that if E5
Hold on,
divination,
we're about to hold on 1 second. I'm about to we gotta listen to this real quick. Give me a second.
okay,
Uh, Where's this video at? I gotta. Well, go ahead. I gotta find it.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm literally
No,
trying to tell you.
it's not.
Ifa
It's
did
not
not
true.
originate in Nigeria. It
Here we
didn't.
go. Here we go. I'm at the. Here we go. Right here. Hold on. Hold on. Let me play this for you real quick. Give me a second.
Company. They deal with the small stuff that bogs you.
If it is true that Yoruba people come from Mecca or Arab, where do they get their language from? Where do they get their costume? This type of dress I'm wearing.
Kíní kan ni mo mọ̀ tó dá mi lójú jọjọ kan pé tẹ́ máa fo fídíò tán ẹ máa mọ̀ pé Elédùmarè ṣàṣìṣe tó dá àwa Yorùbá síbi tí a wà yìí. Oríṣiríṣi ìtàn àròkọ àti àròsọ ni àwọn èèyàn máa ń sọ nípa bí Yorùbá ṣe débi tí a wà tí a mọ̀ sí South West Nigeria. Ibi tí Yorùbá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní Ilé Ifẹ̀ tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn sì gbà pé ibẹ̀ ni Yorùbá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ lóòótọ́. Báwo la wá ṣe dé Ilé Ifẹ̀? Òun ni ìbéèrè tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn máa ń béèrè. Bá a ṣe dé Ilé Ifẹ̀ náà ni nǹkan tá a fẹ́ sọ lénìí. Kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe ẹnu mi ilẹ̀ tí máa gbọ́ bá a ṣe dé Ilé Ifẹ̀. Ẹnu Àràbà Yẹmí Ẹlẹ́bùúbọn ló máa sọ fún wa bí a ṣe dé Ilé Ifẹ̀. Ìtàn tó gùn ni ṣùgbọ́n ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé kí a sì bẹ́ sínú.
Do you know? Free game. Do you know who the Araba is?
Yeah. You say Araba?
The Araba. Do you know who he is? What he is? His role.
No.
He's the head of Ifa.
Okay.
Okay, so let's continue. This is the former Araba, though. There's a new Araba.
Well, according to the Odu Ifa, the world created by Olodumare, and Olodumare is the one that sent emissary Orunmila and all other Orisha to found the heart. In the beginning, it is believed that there is a water all over the world, no space. When the heart is to be formed, Olodumare sent Oduduwa, the progenitor of Yoruba, and all other divinity, Shango, Obatala, Elegbara, Ogun, Orunmila, to go to the world and appoint them with different ministry. Ogun was in charge of technology, justice. Obatala is an artist of Olodumare. Obatala is the one that molds the hair, all organs of our body. Orisha Oko is the one that established the family. Elegbara is law enforcement agent. Orunmila is spiritual advisor, is mouthpiece for all these Orisha. They consult Ifa in heaven. And the Odu Ifa said they will have to offer a chicken with 5 fingers, chameleon, 200 shen, plenty of shant, a sack. All these have been collected. They put everything inside the sack. When it was time for them to arrive, there was no place to land. Water was at everywhere. The shen, 200 shen, they command the shen to stay on the sky. And the descendant come down through this shen to land. They threw the sand inside the sack to the water. and they threw the chicken. It was the chicken that spread the sand all over the world. The first person to touch
what you invest in your employees.
The heart is chameleon. Chameleon, they threw the chameleon. Chameleon was first creator to work on heart. After that, they discovered it became solid. So they are now come down one by one to form the heart. They say, what name can we give to this town? A place where the land was spread. It's called Ile-Ife. Ile-Ife is called Ile-Ife today.
ní ìsìn tí ẹ ti mọ nǹkan tí fídíò yìí wà all about ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bá mi láìkì fídíò yìí ní ìsàlẹ̀ kò ná yín ní kankan ṣùgbọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bá ṣe láìkì ẹ̀ sí òun ni YouTube máa ṣe tì jáde fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn láti rí so láìpẹ́ láìpẹ́ ẹ̀ ń ṣe wá ní favour lórí ìkànnì ẹ̀ ṣe gan ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀síwájú nínú ètò náà. bàbá ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn máa ń sọ pé Mẹ́kà láti wá kí ni ẹni sọ sí part yẹn.
We do not have that authentic in Eshaifa, in Oduifa. The story I just told you now came from Oturupa Wanifa. It's one of the Oduifa. So if you read a book about Yoruba or Africa or Nigerian Yoruba people, you will learn that some say they come from Sudan, some came from Arab. But the question I used to ask people, if it is true that Yoruba people come from Mecca or Arab, the language that Yoruba people speaking is not Arab. Where do they get their language from? Where do they get their costume? This type of dress I'm wearing, they never wear this. The beat, the music, and the names. Where do they get? Is that similar to what they have in the Arab today?
My bad, I was muted. Free game. Can you answer his question?
Dynus, he's contradicting his point.
Okay, but free game. Answer his question.
Which question, Dynus?
That there's you cannot find any similarities between Yoruba and anything in the Middle East. So how can you say that Ifa originated from the Middle East?
Okay, which one is their culture, Dynus? Islam or Ifa? Which one?
It's Ifa.
Okay, but why are they practicing Islam?
Because they're the same way there's some Yorubas who practice Christianity.
No,
it was brought later on.
That's just like hoodoo. Hoodoo didn't have nothing to do with Christianity, but guess what? Christianity got fused. It have to be some fusion.
Ain't no fusion with Islam and Ifa.
But they are Islamic, Dynus.
Yeah, people converted. Yes, some people converted to Islam, some people converted to Christianity. Yes.
But they dress like them people too.
What?
He just said, "Oh, we don't dress like." Yes, y'all do.
Yes, free game. Some Muslims, some Muslims in Africa dress like Arabs.
And North Africa have a longer history with Islam than Nigeria. And guess what?
So what's this got to do?
Hold on. We know that people from North Africa migrated to the Middle East. We know that.
Migrated to the Middle East?
Yes.
It is the other way around, brother.
It's the other way around. What are you talking about?
Okay. So what I'm telling you is that the Ifa divination did not originate in Nigeria. Northern Africa had it first. That's a fact. Ifa come from Middle Eastern influences.
No, it does not.
Yes, it do.
Dude, okay, take Ifa and take Islam. It's no.
Yes,
Maybe the
yes.
sacrificing of goats, but that's common amongst all religions. But there's not.
He's mixing mythology with the divination practice. And for a fact, E5 divination come from geomancy. Geomancy,
No,
in
dude.
fact, yes, it do. Dinus, I got a whole book on a E5 priest writing a geomancy book. And geomancy is in fact comes from astrology. Astrology it created into a divination and created into Odus, and that's how you got E5 practice. That's a fact. And it doesn't come from Nigeria. Nigeria didn't originate in Nigeria. I'm sorry, Donis, but
What's
no.
what's what's the name of the book?
Hold on. You get it right now. So, but what I'm saying is, y'all act like people don't migrate,
People do migrate, but
and African
the
people been
Ifa
migrated in America.
the Ifa divination system, all of the Orishas, that is all out of Nigeria. So where did the
Yes,
Orishas
the
come from?
Orisha is, but not the divination system, Dinus.
Oh, okay, show me in Islam where they make divination with alcohol.
You say what?
Show me in Islam when they ever made divinations using alcohol.
Hold on.
Answer my question. Show me in Islam where they ever used divination made divination using alcohol.
Hold on. You see this?
Okay.
I'm telling you. Hold on. I got other. Hold on. I don't have my other books, but yeah. No, I mean that's custom to their culture. But what I'm telling you is that people migrated and they created other systems, and Nigeria was not the first to do it.
I'm not. But so who brought it specifically?
They going off math. Math was the majority created in the Middle East.
No,
Do you
who?
know? Do you know the history of the Yoruba that they believe that Ile Ife was the start of civilization, right there where it is today? Do you know that?
You can believe anything.
No, that's what the people who are from there, the people who keep their practice and their culture, that's what they say. They never told you that they came from Egypt or they came from any other place. They said that
Man, them
the
Nigerians look just like
The
you.
Oni of Ife said that that was the cradle of their civilization.
Man, them Nigerians look just some of them Nigerians, especially the northern ones, the
Yeah, but
tall
those are not Yorubas.
But those
The
they
aren't.
northern
But
look
ones
just
those.
don't
like
practice
Again,
Ifa.
those aren't Yorubas.
that.
Those
I'm
are
telling you, but they look
Afro-Asiatic people. If you're talking about the northern Nigerians, yes, some of them are Chadic people who came from northern,
Yeah,
Africa.
exactly. Those aren't
but
Yorubas, gang.
they come from they have to come from Sudan too.
Some of them did. That's the difference between the north and the south. They got
And,
different origins. The northern are more mixed with Arabs and Nilotic people and Cushitic people. They're kind of a mixture of different northern African people.
and also, Dinus, do you know that the Congo filed a lawsuit against Israel? Do you know that?
What?
Yes.
I mean,
What does this got to
this
do
is
For
going
with
to
for
anything?
you said Hebrews. The Congolese people uh have proof evidence that Israel stole their culture. And
Oh
they
my lord,
yes, I didn't say they have their relics. They have their relics. Yes. They ain't
man!
gonna
so
file a lawsuit for
Dynasty.
no reason.
I'm going to just say this. There's a lot of I mean contradiction in this peaceful free game. Uh,
Hey,
when you say
said to you sound real low. You got to speak up or talking to the
okay, so
phone, or
sorry about that. Can you hear me better now?
that's a little bit better.
Okay, so I was saying there's a lot of contradiction in what free game just said, and One of the things I want to mention is like when he said it comes from mathematics, and mathematics is from the like Middle East and stuff. So that's not that's not the fact. That's been proven. Even uh, Europeans are trying to like claim mathematics to the Greek emperor and stuff like that. But we all know that all those like mathematics comes from Africa. So, and also if you read Sheikh Anta Diop, he will definitely like give you proof that even like all the United Nations uh, like like couldn't even say that this is not the fact. They didn't even like have the argument to like debunk whatever Shahanta Diop was saying, because he was a great scholar. He like has two like simultaneously was studying mathematics and also philosophy, and he has like one of the like most beautiful academic achievement, even when he was studying among white folks. So I think if you like read the history, you will know that uh, like Islam has nothing to do with like indigenous Africa, how they had their culture before they have Islam. So they converted and they kept their culture, and some of that culture mingle with the way people dress, and also you see from different West African countries, you see like the influence of Islam, but that doesn't mean that they didn't have a culture before. And what you're talking about geomancy, that's like a science, but there's like better science that like overcome what you just show. Like you just show a book, but you didn't say what the book is about. It's not about the topics. You will go from here to here, and it's kind of like throwing off the debate. And that's where I'm gonna land my plan.
Free game. I just challenge you to go to Ife with your claims. That's all. Free game. Have you ever been to Nigeria? Free game. You there? Okay, he dropped off. I think he's just trolling.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, he had to be trolling. But man, I'm telling you, it's just here we go. He's back. Go ahead, free game.
I'm look, Dynasty. I'm just saying, like,
About free game. My question is: have you ever been to Ife?
no,
Have you ever been to Nigeria?
no.
Oh, come on, dude. Come on.
No, but
Come
Dynasty, you
on.
you can't, Dynasty, you can't say that African people. And what if it was an African person who came up with it? But y'all cannot say that Africa had never been in the Middle East when it's literally walking distance from Africa. It just don't make sense.
The Middle
So
East is
now,
walking distance from Nigeria.
so now
You
you
go
take your
if
you're
you
taking it
go
back.
to if you go to Somalia, you go to Somalia. It literally the Middle East is
Free
right
game. We're
there.
talking Nigeria.
Yes, the Nigerian people came from
Free
East
game. Free
Africa.
game. Free
No,
game.
they didn't.
Yeah,
Have you ever? Free game. Do you
hold
ever?
on,
Hold on.
hold on,
Hold on.
hold on.
One mic. Free game. Do you have a passport?
Yes.
Have you ever been to Africa?
No.
Oh man, come on, bro. Come on.
Oh my goodness, y'all just said the Northern Africans came from East Africa.
Those
No,
are
some of them are mixed.
separate free game. Those are separate. That's a whole separate group of people.
Yeah, the
So hold
Yorubas are
on. So
different than the
so
House
so
of
Islam
Fulanese.
Islam just magically appeared in Nigeria.
No, Usman Dan Fodio came with the Sokoto Caliphate and Islamicized the northern part, and they in turn spread it down to the Oyo Empire into Yoruba land. That's the
And
history of
and
it.
free game and free game. Ifa existed before Danfodio came to northern Nigeria.
Oh my! Have y'all not heard of the Bantu migration?
What?
What's that
What
got to
does that
do
got
with
to do?
Islam? With Islam, Tattoos
Where is
were
Islam
Muslim.
practiced in the Middle East? Right?
Oh my
Free-
gosh!
This dude can't. Free game. You're trolling now.
No, I'm not.
What does the Bantu migration got to do with Islam?
Y'all acting like people never migrated.
Nobody's saying that.
Okay, free
Okay.
game. Free game. Elvis just gave you how Islam spread through Nigeria. He just told you.
No.
This nigga's trolling, right? He's trolling.
No, because the
Man,
people in Northern Africa.
you're trolling, bro. We gotta move on.
No.
We got free game. We gotta move on, man. We gotta move on. All I said
But
is
what I'm saying is,
free
my
game.
point
No,
is,
free game. Free game. No, free game. Until you go to Ile-Ife with these claims in your book, I don't want to hear from you.
I'll go with you next year.
Oh, put your deposit down.
When you going?
In 2026.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. Hold on 1 second. It will be, let's see, the second Friday. It will be August 9th through the 18th.
All right. I don't want to go. I don't come back now.
Why would you say that?
No, I'm just playing, man.
Yeah, you've been playing the whole time, pregame. So, K2, go ahead. K2.
Can you hear me?
Hear you now.
Yeah. Appreciate you letting me on the show. All that. I actually have a question with this, or whatever, because I know Dynas, you go to Nigeria a lot. You're with the Ifa, and I honestly don't know anything about Ifa. I've heard it, but I don't know nothing about it. So I'm not gonna act like I'm an expert. I'm not gonna argue with nobody. With the dude that was arguing about how Islam came in, I'm not saying I agree with that. It's more or less an open book. What I want to know is this. I've heard the name Usman Danfodio or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Who is he? Like, what does that mean? They came from Senegal, right? And Usman Danfodio, and I want to put that, he was Fulani, right?
Correct. He's a Fula. Correct.
He was Fula. Right. Okay. So, and just to pretext this, now I'm explaining that I'm not an expert at all. I don't know. I want somebody to explain to me. It's supposed to be House of Fulani, right?
Correct.
Or people say it that way. But the Fula and the Hausa are different.
Correct.
To a degree. The Fula came in, because it sounds like the Islam came in through the Fula. Right?
Somebody is saying that Islam was already amongst the Yorubas before, and I stand to be correct.
Time out. And real quick, I want some. Y'all can explain on that, but for somebody like even and again, Dynas, I'm not even trying, because again, I respect your platform.
No, go ahead,
I'm
man.
not even trying to call you out like that, because I know you go there, so it's like, hey, man, maybe there might be certain things you can't speak on. But I'm trying to actually get some understanding, because I know that there's the Fula, the Hausa, the Yoruba, the Igbo there. And once again, there's probably a bunch of other tribes like we talked about with the Congo, like, tribes that don't get mentioned as often in conversations because they're not the majority tribes that everybody talks about. So I'm trying to get some understanding as far as like for example, Usman Danfodio. I know that's a big thing up in the north with the Fula, and they're, but I don't actually understand, how did this all work? Like, they're House of Fulani, but it's Fula from my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I don't know. But from what I've heard or understood is it was a thing where the Fula came in, they kind of took over, but it was more or less a thing where like the Hausa and the Fulani kind of merged.
They did. They somewhat merged, correct.
But they merged, but it was a thing where it was like you're merging in with this minority group of Fula. They're the ones that are running stuff because they were the ones that conquered the larger population of you. And they claim to come from something else.
Okay, let me say this, right? And again,
explain
it. My knowledge is limited on this, so I'm not going to speak emphatically. But my understanding is the House are probably mostly ruled by religion, and the Fulani came in with religious authority. Usman Danfodio came in with Islamic Reformation, and he reformed Islam that was being practiced in what was called the Kanem Borno Empire, which was dominated by the Hausa people. and he came in there with his, his jihad, a jihadist mindset, a religious war, and try to reform. And he conquered them, and he reformed them Islamic, to Islam, and
So
they
now the
respect
Kano, the Kano or whatever
Kanem
empire that you're
Bono.
talking about, yeah, Kano
Sokoto,
Burnham.
Sokoto.
But that empire was now being dominated by the tribe that came in afterward.
Yeah, the
correct.
Fulani came in and brought
Right.
religion, and they reformed, and they set up emirs and caliphates and different things, and they became the rulers. They became the kings of those, those lands.
And where did the
Right.
Fulani get influence into Islam? Because I understand in Sudan there was a 700-year war that they fought against the insurgents of Islam, and then they succumbed to it. And my understanding is they were some of the first Africans that brought Islam into the interior of, and I'm wondering if they were the ones that introduced it into the Fulani, and then later the Hausa through the Sudan, through them conquering the Sudan and the
Right.
Sudanese fighting them over hundreds of years. They lost and they got in, and then there was a northern part. There was a northern encroachment of Arabic Islamic that went along the northern coast of Libya, Tunisia, and then they had their whole different time periods that went all the way into Spain. But the interior in that part, that's my question. Were they the ones who brought it to the Fula and Hausa?
I don't know. I'm not an expert on it.
Yeah. See, and
Yeah,
honestly,
another
that's
group.
not even what I want to know.
1 second, bro.
No, because I'm gonna ask you a question because you have more experience on this probably than even I do. Like, I really don't know, but it's a question that I've always had because I even brought it up in the last live, even when we talk about the Congo. I don't believe that Tutsis are Arab, this, that, and the other, any more than I necessarily believe that Fulanis are Arabs, this, that, and the other. We cross cultures and mix, and we've migrated different places to where different things are different things. However, my question really, and I mean, it's good because we're not talking about the Congo. We're talking about Ifa or whatever, and I don't know enough about Ifa, so teach me. But this is my question. There are certain, like, it doesn't even, it's been talked about over years and years and years, but it's not a thing like what's going on in Congo where we're talking about the Fulani in the same way that we're talking about the Tutsi. And this is my question is, why is it an issue? Like, I've heard even as of recently that the Hausa are trying to separate themselves from the Fulani or the Fula. Let's say whatever, because
I haven't heard that.
So that's what I'm.
Well, I mean, K2, we're not educated enough to answer that question. I'm not really
Okay. I got you.
I'm not versed in northern Nigeria. All I know is that
I got you.
All I know is Ifa does not originate from the Middle East. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, and I would probably agree with you.
Yeah, another ethnic group that really spread Islam throughout West Africa is what we call the Mandingo or the Malinke people, who themselves engaged with the Arabs during the slave trade and were traders and merchants, and they got Islam from the Arabs, and they spread it throughout West Africa, places like Gigadu in Guinea, where there's a lot of Mandingos there mixed with the Fula people, and they spread. They've been practicing Islam for a very long time, and the Fula are like a semi-nomadic people, so they travel different places. They are in almost, if not every country in West Africa, even in Africa, as a matter of fact.
They're from a cattle herding like kind of tribe set though, right?
Yeah, they're semi nomadic people
that's
that
why I
around.
compare it with the Tutsi, because it's like essentially if the land is fertile and you're moving across lands with your cattle, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't seen what the Fula have as far as cattle or whatever, but the
Fula are known for cattle.
Yeah, they're cattle herders.
When it comes to cattle, the Fula are like the people of West Africa that are cattle herders.
Well, no, that's the point that I'm making. I'm not saying they're not known for cattle. What I'm saying is I haven't seen their cattle. I've seen Museveni and the Tutsi and Rwanda or whatever, and that those longhorn cattle that they have. That it's like
In
that's good
northern
meat. Like
Nigeria, brother. There's a whole big thing on how they're running their cattle through these farmers
Yeah,
markets
that
in
was a big
northern
thing.
Nigeria. Where
Yeah,
is it?
right.
yeah.
So what's the thing with that though? That's what I'm trying to like. Because again,
They
I don't
think
know.
that the cow should have dominion to feed on any
And
land.
graze any
So they
land.
Yeah,
Period.
right. So meaning that they feel like they should control all of the land for what their cattle,
Right, and
exactly,
what
and
and
and,
that's
and,
where the
and,
issue came
and,
from.
and that's
that's the
where the issue
problem.
lies. That's the problem.
But
Yeah,
back
Right.
to Father, I wanted to make a comment because those conversations have been coming up, and there's been some Yorubas that will make that contention that it does come from the what we call Middle East and travel down, uh, and so but other Yorubas have pushed back, and the majority of the people have said that that's not true. That
yeah,
its origins is Ile Ife.
yeah.
Uh,
I've heard that argument too, and
Can
but
you
I take
re-explain
the
that?
Oni of
You
Ife
you
word to
said
be
that.
gospel. He's the
Oh, my
leader
bad.
of the Yoruba people, and he said that their critical civilization is in Ile Ife. He has certain authorities that he can speak on it, with authority. I believe him more so than
My,
anybody else.
but here's food for
because I
thought.
joined
If
this late.
Oduduwa,
Because I joined this
hold
late.
on, brother, hold on, brother.
Go ahead. Go
If
ahead. My
Oduduwa
bad.
began 1,000 years, there's a record that Oduduwa founded Ile Ife around 1,000 years ago, right? And they're saying that he came from somewhere else to Ile Ife to found, the settlement of Ile Ife. And so, if he came from somewhere else, where was he before? That's one of the big questions. But that is a definite time that demarks Yoruba's beginning in Ile Ife. And then the question, then they talk about there's other Yorubas too. You have the Yorubas that are Ga in this is something to consider. The Ga in Ghana. You've got the Awe that migrated from Ile Ife into Benin, Togo, and parts of Ghana. What else? There's another group too, but those are two affiliated groups that are not, the ones that we know about, the Egbas and the oh
Yoruba.
not the yeah the what is it, the
Yoruba.
Egbas, the Ketus or Nagos in Republic of Benin, they call them Nagos. In fact, that is one of the older names of Yoruba. They say is an older name, but I think it's a regional name. Those people from Brazil come from Ketu, Benin, which are also Nago people. But then you have the Egbas, you have the Ijebus, and what's another group? I won't say the Oyos, but the Ife.
How many tribes are there in Nigeria?
It's hundreds,
Roughly.
like over 400, probably more.
So it's like Congo, where there's essentially quote unquote a million different tribes. Like, but they're honestly kind of mixed. Like and once again, I don't know. I'm asking the question because I haven't been, and I don't know. But they're essentially like it's like like I mean, hell, you've had people that have been on or whatever, even when it comes to the Congo or whatever, that are like I'm Tutsi and Hutu. My dad, like being here in the States, I know so most. I can't say most Nigerians, but it's like nah, yeah. Like my dad's Igbo, my mom's in Yoruba, or
Hey, K2,
my dad's
K2, hey,
Yoruba.
K2, K2. Can you like you're all over the place? So just what's going on?
So I'm trying to ask the question as far as the tribes. Like you hear, I don't know any other Nigerian tribes other than the Yoruba, House of Fulani, and Igbo. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? I know
okay,
there's other tribes there. What
okay.
I'm trying to say is it's kind of a mix or an amalgamation or
Where's
whatever.
your mother from, sir?
Say it again.
You
Go
said
ahead.
your mother's
Y'all go.
Yoruba. What part? What Yoruba is she? Is she Jebu? Is she Egba? Is she Ife? Where is she from? Is she from
Well,
Oyo?
Well, no, that's what I'm asking because I don't
Well,
know.
no, I'm saying, what is your mother though? You don't know where your mother's from? You
Are you
said she's
talking about my
Yoruba.
mom?
You said your mother's Yoruba and your dad's Igbo. That's what you just said.
I don't know, but I'm talking about like people from Nigeria. Like
No, he's
I'm
giving an example. He's saying like say. You know, he's
Man,
saying
man,
like
hold on,
example.
what,
well,
Mike,
no.
K2, hold on, what, K2, what's
Go.
your question, man? You're all over the place. What's your question?
My bad. So this is what I'm asking. I've known different Nigerians over the time. I don't delineate. Like if you're like me, I know all skin folk and kinfolk or whatever, but it's like I don't delineate. Like, hey, look, this is where you're from, whatever, this, that, and the third. I know people that are Igbo. I know people that are Yoruba or that are Yoruba and Igbo. I don't know to me, like I don't think I've ever met a Fulani or somebody, whatever. Maybe I have, but what I don't understand the dynamics of Nigeria. And I know y'all spend more time out there, Dynast.
Well, yeah, I mean there are when the Europeans, when the British drew the borders, they didn't take into consideration the different ethnic groups. There's like between 300 to 400 different so-called tribes
That's
in
in every
Nigeria.
country. I understand that. That's in every country.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm talking about is the specific dynamics of Nigeria. Nigeria is more populated than Ethiopia.
Sounds like you're talking about nothing and you're babbling. And
Yeah,
then
K2,
My bad, my bad. Yeah,
K2,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
babbling,
Y'all
bro. I
go,
have no
y'all go,
clue your
y'all
question.
go. I honestly, I'm literally trying to figure out. Okay, you got your Igbo, you got your Yoruba, and you got your House of Fulani. House of Fulani are generally more Muslim, Islam, this, that, and the third. Yoruba, I don't know if it's Christian or this, that, and the other.
They're a
Igbo
mixture.
are the ones that
Go
they,
ahead.
they essentially you would claim like they're the only ones that like if Nigeria was the US, the Igbos would be the ones claiming. Well, I can't even say claiming because they do claim that they're Hebrew, and that's what this whole conversation was, from.
Well,
So
only a few claim is a very, 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 very small minority, and the only reason why that small minority claims that they're Hebrew is because of the Biafra War.
but why are they claiming that just because of the Biafra War?
Because they feel as if they were persecuted like Jews because of the Biafra War, so they started claiming Hebrew. This is something that just happened during and after the Biafra War.
So that's all it was.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah.
I met a brother.
Yeah.
I met a young
Well,
brother.
hold on. Let K2 fit. Go ahead, K2.
Well, no. Honestly, because I want y'all, because in this specific live that you have right now, I'm
K2,
more or less asking questions.
K2, do you want to go to Nigeria?
I do, but we're gonna have to discuss pricing, bro. Like I'm just one of those. Like I want to go, and I can meet y'all out there. You know what I'm saying? I got my passport.
Okay.
Everything's good. You know what I'm saying? I'll meet you out there. You know what I'm saying? Got my passport. Everything is good, and would love to be out there because I want to be at those events. Like I don't understand IFA. Like when y'all started talking about that, that got out all the way
Well,
outside of my.
it's not to be understood by the uninitiated. You want to
It's not
understand it, you
based
get
on Christianity.
initiated.
It's not based off Christianity or Islam, right?
He could learn the basics though. He could go on Google and Google the basics and just
Yeah, K2, do you know how to use Google?
Yeah, I can use Google. I'm trying to get from somebody that knows that practices it, right?
But like when it comes to, you said, the dynamics of Nigeria, like, I still like, what's your question?
I don't understand why you don't understand that.
Like, I don't understand your question.
Look. So okay, this is my question. From my perspective, I look at Nigeria as like damn near 3 different ethnic groups. They're not different ethnic groups, but it's like this: you have your Yoruba, you have your Igbo, you have your House of Fulani, which nobody else, I think that's a recent thing because there was even the thing with the USA where they were showing them videos or whatever with the white dudes dropping off all this shit or whatever in helicopters, but it was Fula that were picking that stuff up. It's there's a dude or whatever, I don't know, he might be on the international watch list. It doesn't really matter unless they're going to do anything. But he was even saying like, yeah, we tried to discuss with them and they didn't want to adjust the deal that they had with us or whatever. So we're going to do whatever. They can't stop us. So my whole thing is this: that's not Hausa and Fulani are like merged together, in my opinion.
Okay. No,
I guess
that's
change my
okay.
mind.
That's a fair opinion. Go ahead.
Right, they're
And you
merged
said that
together.
already too.
However, it's the
Yeah, yeah.
Fula that is doing this stuff or whatever. That Hausa isn't
The KKK
necessarily
too. For they're merged together. Go ahead. Keep going.
okay. Yeah, so I will say that they're merged together. But that's what I'm more or less asking you guys on is so what is the dynamic even with that, and then with that dynamic, how does that work with the rest of the country? You're Yoruba and you're Ifa. Igbo, you kind of know a little bit of more or less their plight with the Biafra war, all this stuff. I'm trying to figure out how does that actually work in Nigeria because the reality is I'll never get on some shit like, hey, Nigeria is a shithole country. Like I'm trying to get out there. Like I feel like it'd be a good time. Like it is what it is. However, as far as their economy, they could be doing way better than they are. Aliko Dangote, or whatever, he's a Fula, right?
Yeah, Hasa Fulani. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's and he's doing things like they're playing with him essentially now. At this point, it's like, man, I got
Dynasty,
a
you gotta pass it,
refinery.
man. It's,
I
it's,
got
it's
a
stalled
Yeah,
out
refinery.
yeah,
here.
bro.
He's really
Am I
not.
wrong?
I
Am I
gotta,
wrong?
No,
I gotta
bro.
Am I
pass the
wrong?
mic. I
Okay,
gotta
go
pass
ahead.
the
Go
mic.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yep.
KC,
Go,
you
do
just,
what you do.
I think
Yep.
you are you on that narcotic? Like, don't call
Oh
in on that
yeah.
narcotic,
Oh yeah.
man.
Hey, look, man. I didn't call in on Obama phone though, right?
Okay, let me let me pass the mic.
Do
Dynasty,
what you do, bro. Do what you do.
I
Do what
think
you
it's
do.
all
Do what you do.
granddad's medicine,
Let me
man.
pass the mic
Yeah,
to
I'm definitely off that medicine, bro. And honestly,
We're all
I'm about to go to bed.
conversationalists.
I'm about to.
Okay, let me pass the mic to J Line. Go ahead, J Line.
I
Unmute yourself, J
mean,
Line.
yeah, I'm unmuted.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but I think all this confusion is just like a colonized mind. I think that and like you said, it comes down to like self-hate and I think that's what it is. And it comes down to Western culture, right? Western culture, black people in Western culture messes up a lot of black people minds up, right? And you see African immigrants that come up, grow up in the culture, right? And they get messed up by it. You can see the dysfunction, right? And to me, it's all the dysfunction. You can see the dysfunction in the UK, Canada, and to me, it's all product of this Western culture or something like that. So it makes you hate yourself, make you give up your own culture. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what it is. Like look at like what's his name, Nipsey Hussle. What the hell he doing? He's from East Africa, whatever. What the hell he doing being the Crips in the game? Huh? So that's what it comes down to. Huh? So and I think that all this discussion and all this other messages is that a lot of black folks in the West are just confused as hell. Huh? And and it's what do you call it? It's disorder. Like Western culture has no order to it. Huh? African culture at least has an order, has a structure, right? And if you look at the history of the West, right, it's insane, right? You know what I'm saying? There's no consistency to it. It's like, oh, well, I don't know what gender I am. It's confusing. This first we was, we were Christian. Now we like,
Are you a Muslim?
atheist. And I think that no, I'm not a Muslim, and they don't know what they and you look at it, it's just madness. So, and you just see a product of like what do you call it, of colonialism and slavery, all this other type of stuff is just kind of confused. But at the same time, and you can see a lot of the black family structures, is chaos, and like so, and I think that a lot of these black women in the West are actually, very masculine, and I think that and and I think that you see a lot of madness, man. So and like you can see it too, Diners. I mean, I heard you say that like, oh man, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? You checking out, you trying, get back to the motherland. You can see the chaos. It's a sinking ship, and I think that we all know, like that what do you call it? It's just not sustainable. Huh? The stuff that
black folks that in the diaspora, wherever the culture that's in, is just not sustainable. Huh? And I think they'll shoot, it's not even sustainable for a lot, even for the white folk. Huh? Even the white dudes, or the, basically their families all left up. Huh? So it's kind of like it's just a wrap, man. So, and I think that the dumb and dumbed down of the culture, right? You know what I'm saying? The people don't read. They're talking about their Native American, like what like like where's the where's your Native American language, or where's all this other mess? So it's like they had this pseudo stuff, huh? Like you were saying, huh? A lot of it is like pseudo stuff. So a lot of folks, um, they want to belong to something like that, but you want to belong, in a society where you're a minority, you don't have no power, under the mayonnaise white man system, right? And like you said, Israel is controlled by a bunch of Europeans, and like just like America is too, huh? So I think that's what it is, huh? But a lot of black folks just don't want to hear the truth. All right.
Let me pass the mic to it just go ahead and I'm gonna close out. Let me let me read these super chats. WM Mustafa, thank you for $5 holla. The more time passes, the more people start making stuff up. I don't G Black Plo, I don't know. Geomancy, a lot of Boconos and Benin Republic use the term. Some of them want to tie the practice to Saudi, go figure. And then Torhaka, according to Dr. Dio, Ben and Clark, Africans were in America, but current black people came from people who were enslaved. Go ahead, Ajisa.
Hey, what's up, Dennis? What's up, panel? Real quick, I just wanted to chime in. I wandered upon this discussion, but I want to say something, Dennis. You said something that was wrong, and I just want to correct you. You're saying that Igbo people started claiming Judaism after the Biafra War?
Or during, yes.
Where did you hear that?
From Igbos.
No, dude. Here's what I'll say about this.
I've heard it from Igbo. Whenever I bring up my Igbo friends,
that's not true. That's not true. Here's the thing about it. The people that I guess get to claim it now, they just got into it. What I will say about it is it was more of a way of life. There are a lot of traditions. In fact, if you read that book, Things Fall Apart, there were two things in particular that caught me. One was about the naming ceremony, and one was circumcision after 7 days. There are a lot of things that Ndibo were doing way before people put a name to it or whatever, or this one particular group that everybody knows now, people that call themselves Jews now, put a label to it and claim this is their religion. Because if that's the case, what do you gotta ask about?
Just tell me when Igbo start calling themselves Hebrews or Jews before the Biafra War. That's all I'm asking.
It
they weren't calling themselves that. They wasn't calling themselves. That's people.
Did you prove my point?
No, because I'm telling you, it was traditions. It was things that they were doing. They weren't calling themselves that.
But okay? Again, what I said specifically was that Igbos did not start considering themselves or calling themselves Jews until during and after the Biafra.
Do you know that even no. What I'm saying, okay. Are you saying that they weren't answering the name Jew? Or are you saying that the whole religious practice
they were calling themselves Jews?
Okay, but were they doing what? Okay, no, but what? As far as
that's not the argument, Ijissa. That's not the argument.
I don't even think. I'll be honest with you. I don't even think the old religions were. They don't even call themselves Jews. They don't call themselves Jews.
They have a traditional religion.
People, Mizrahi Jews don't even. It wasn't until recently, but until around I think it was Yiddish people, or the tribes that came out of Eastern Europe, that started using the term Jews. People didn't call themselves Jews.
You're right.
They didn't call themselves Jews.
You're right. But they had a
I
traditional
mean, so
practice that was like
exactly.
other
Yeah, and
African
that's why people
spiritual
call the
systems.
Igbos Jews because some of their practices mirror that of
It was the
the
same. So
Jews.
No,
Error,
I
there's a
would
error,
disagree because you
error.
could use that argument about the Yorubas and other groups too,
No, that's
or
what I'm saying. I'm not
Robos.
saying they are the Jews. I'm just saying some of their practices. Others who observe them think that these people
but
must be Jewish.
They're very
if you look
general
no
though. Those
but
practices
no
are very
it's
general
not
and
very general. No,
widespread across Africa.
it's not very general. They're
What are
very
the
specific.
practices?
They're very
I'll give
specific.
you some of the
And then
practices. Some of the practices are sacrificial rites, right? Where even they talk about it in the book of Leviticus that once they lifted the Mosaic law, they stopped practicing those rituals, and some of those rituals that they were doing at that time in the Bible is identical or very very similar to what the Yorubas do. It is a general practice among Africans. Even the guy in Ghana, they mark their door with red paint during the time that the Christians or Catholics call Passover. They've been doing that shit before there was probably a Bible or anything like that.
okay, so
So that's but
what I'm
that's not a
saying is
Jewish that they got that from us. They got that from us. They
who's
didn't come.
us?
They didn't get that
Who's
from
us? Who's us?
the Catholics and the Christians and those things. They got it from African traditional cultures.
Bro,
It's not the other way
these
around.
wait. So you're saying the oldest people in history got it from a religion
I'm
that's like
saying
just new to the block.
the people that took our spiritual practices from Egypt, right? And maybe the Coptic was the crossover. The over 200 or 300 years when they changed the Bible, and then now you got a Bible in Christianity and the
So
Catholic Church
what about
and
the Falashas?
Judaism.
Wait, what about the Falashas in Ethiopia? What were they? What were they doing?
Right? They
They got
were
it from you?
they are the original people that were practicing it, and that's East Africa. That's
Okay,
not West
wait.
Africa.
Okay, so what about the Lemba in Zimbabwe?
We
Yeah,
got
but
to
they
look
haven't
at
been
that.
proven to be Jewish. They have,
Excuse me?
they haven't been proven to have, to be quote unquote Jewish. They
Again,
have
they
certain
don't call
traditions and
themselves.
practices.
They do not call themselves Jews. They do not call
I don't
No,
themselves
I
that.
think
know, I
that's
know. I said quote
They
unquote.
don't.
I'm not saying they call themselves that. I'm
So what
just
do you mean they
saying
haven't been proven?
those are general
they have
practices.
certain
It's not
practices that are
general. It's
similar
not general. It's very
to
specific.
Right. Those
Judaism
are they're
practice.
all over Africa.
Another thing. If you let these people tell you their oral history, okay, a lot of them there are patterns of migration that that they can
Yeah,
tell you
yeah. The
way
Limba
way.
said they came from Sinai in
Do you
Yemen.
know what? So
That's
do
where
you
they
know what
said they came
Hausa?
from.
Do you know what Northerners call Igbos? Do you know what they
I don't
call them?
know.
Northerners. What
I don't know.
northerners?
Northerners, and the
The
Hausa
Hausa, the
people,
Fulanis, the people in
Fulani. You know what
Northerners
they
of
call Igbo
Nigeria.
people? Yeah,
what
you
do
know
they
what they
call
call
them?
Igbo people? Yemeni. That's the name they call it. Yemeni. They'll say like
Yeah,
an Igbo
people
person will
that came from
call
Yemen, right?
And
exactly.
and
So
Ouida is Judah, right? Ouida and Dahomey are Republic of Benin is Judah, right? That's just
I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar
okay.
with that area.
I'm glad that you
But
aren't, but I'm glad
what does
Dinus
that
cleared
mean?
that up. No, some
What
they
did he
make
put?
But just to do Igbos call themselves Yemeni?
Okay, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you if
Yeah,
it what it what it what,
but the Igbos have their own traditional Igbo religion, and it's not
no, what
Judaism.
is saying? No, what the? If you talk to Igbo historians, they will talk about migration patterns. Okay, so if there are things, excuse me, because I'm at Home Depot, but there are a lot of practices and what do you call it, traditions that are markers of this quote unquote religion or way of life. It wasn't until you got to understand. Even you guys were talking about what do you call it when the spread of Islam? What is that word? Not
Jihad,
jihadist.
jihad.
No, it's not jihad.
It's jihad. It's jihad.
Is jihad? Is that what?
It's
The
the
circle to Danfodio,
Reformation, the
The
Caliphate.
caliphate, when they're spreading Islam, like a lot of these people weren't originally um, Muslim, okay, but some of their practices
Right.
came. That's the same thing with Christianity. It's not like we sat here and we were calling ourselves, we are the Jews, we're the Jews. So Christianity came, it affected. everybody in southern Nigeria,
Okay, but do you believe
Yoruba,
the Igbos
this
are the
is
Jews?
That was because of
look,
colonization, though.
we exactly. So we lost a lot of
Right.
things, but
But
it
that's
wasn't like
recent.
we didn't. But
No,
you
no,
gotta
I'm
understand. You
asking
gotta
you, brother.
understand.
Let's get to the crux of it. Do you think the Igbos are the Jews?
Do I think the Igbos are the Jews? We have a lot of practices. We have a lot of things that we do. Now, whether they want to call themselves, or they want to say, because it's almost like you're naming yourself after a group of people that are just new to the block. It's I remember I was watching a video and it was ridiculous. There was an Igbo guy and his name was Cohen, which is nonsense because there's no way your name would be. I mean, Cohen is a Yiddish name. It's an Eastern European name.
Hold on, Idrissa, we're going. I don't know why we're going down this rabbit hole. Again, my
It's
point
not a
is,
rabbit hole. It's not a rabbit hole.
don't interrupt me. My point is, Igbos did not start calling themselves Jews and are relating to being Jewish until the Biafra War and after it. That's my point. And you
I
haven't
don't know
disputed
when
that.
I don't know when, but it had nothing to do with Biafra War. It had
It
nothing to
did.
do with that war.
So,
It had, bro.
just
It had.
when did Igbos start calling themselves Jews then?
I don't know, but it had nothing to do with that Biafra War.
I'm telling you when.
And I'm telling you no.
Well, prove me
Okay,
wrong. Well, just
But
you have
I
to
don't.
prove me wrong. You still haven't proved me wrong.
right,
Bro,
you haven't come up with no proof.
You still haven't proved me wrong.
dude. It's nothing. It is nothing. It has nothing to do with that war. I think
Yes,
what
it does.
when people.
Yes, it does. All
Okay,
right.
when people. Okay, so
Jews
when
did
people
not.
when people say that
These
when people say that
Hebrews that call themselves Jews did not start calling themselves Jews during and after the Biafra War because they felt as if they were persecuted like the Jews.
no.
Prove me
That is
wrong.
not.
Prove
That is
me
not
wrong.
when.
Prove
That is
me
not when
wrong.
they started. Look,
Prove me
what?
wrong.
No, what
Okay.
I'm saying.
Jason, no. Forget the semantics. Prove to me.
There's no semantics we're talking. There's no semantics we're talking about. They did not call themselves.
It's simple. It's really simple. Either you do it or you can't. Prove to me that Igbos are calling themselves Jews before the Biafra War. That's all I'm asking.
What I'm saying is that it was never a name that they used.
Can you do it? Can you prove to me that they were calling themselves
Bro,
Jews before the Biafra
I'm
War?
telling you that was never a name. That was never a term that they used.
If you can't do it, then just say you can't do it.
Look, what are you trying to prove? That they're not? Or they didn't use that word?
They're not Jews, period.
Okay, no, they are. They just never use that word.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
But you can't prove it. You can't prove anything toward that end other than saying that they are. So you got homework to do.
No, I don't have any homework to do. Why would I have homework to do on my
Because if
own
you're in
culture?
here making a contention that they are, then you should be able to say why they are. But you're not saying it. You're just saying that they are. Because Dynas has more information about why they're not than you do.
Why would Dynas have more information about them than me?
Because he's saying it.
Because he went there a couple times?
No, I think the brother that's talking is an Igbo. I think he has an Igbo name. You're Igbo, right?
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that.
He said
What I'm
we,
saying
so
is that.
No, I'm saying that because then that means you probably know your people more than we do. For those of us who are not Igbo, so I don't know. Maybe you're not Igbo.
Yeah, Abu Monibo. Abu Monibo.
Were you
But
born in the United States and raised in the United States?
no, I'm from there.
Were you raised in the United States?
Both. I was both. So.
Well, y'all have a whole spiritual tradition.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You guys have your own spiritual system. Like, it wasn't Judaism.
Well, it was. You gotta understand. It was.
Well, what
you
is
gotta forgive
it?
me. I'm in mixed company right now, so I can't. I don't want to be talking too loud. But what I'm saying is that it was a lot of cultures. It was many cultures. It was multifaceted. It wasn't. I mean, because if I remember my history right, a lot of it was you already had a group that was there, but then you had people also that migrated into the area. So it's almost like them taking on that tradition.
Can you
Or
tell us
taking
about the Chi? Can you educate us about the chi and
Chi
about the
and
system?
Chineke, yeah, Chi
Yeah.
and Chuku, like that's so that's what they're both I'm sorry, hold on.
Yeah, I don't think it was the best time, brother. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
well,
got to do a show on this.
I'm in the middle of Home Depot doing all this, and we're looking at crazy. So,
That's what we want to know about. We
so,
want to know about the chi and about the things that y'all do that that's unique about the Igbos. The
so,
a whole Jewish
what
connection is
what
not
I can say, what I
really
can say
interesting.
that what I'm saying is that a lot of things that they practice, if you look at it, and this is what the limbo was saying. The limbo was saying, like, look, we're not we don't have to prove who we are. Okay, it's and that's the same. A lot of these cultures in Africa, we're the oldest we're the oldest group of people in the world. We've been doing this forever. The problem, I think what happens is the problem with Africans is we have oral. It's like history. We didn't. A lot of it wasn't written text that we wrote down and we documented. So it's almost like these group of people beat us to the punch, and now they can claim this stuff. It's almost like you invented something, but you never wrote it down. You never went and got the patent for it. So now somebody else gets it. They call it something else, and they get credit. Now you
Do you
have it
know
to
about
prove.
your
Man, you ain't Jewish.
I never said I was
right?
Jewish.
Do you know
In
about
fact,
your
that's not
spiritual
that's
system? Do you practice it? Do you practice your own traditional spiritual Igbo religion?
as far as what?
Practice it. Are you involved
As
in? Are
far as
you initiated in it?
I'm not. I don't do that. I'm not.
Do you practice Christianity or Judaism?
I don't practice either.
Okay.
I
So
don't
you don't
practice
practice
either.
nothing. You don't practice no deep spiritual religion, not Christianity or Judaism. Yes or no? He left.
Yeah, man, he's trolling.
So
Jesse, you there?
wait. How am I trolling? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we in
Now we
there.
can. That was
Yeah.
a
What do you
question.
mean? And I said no. I don't. I'm
So
not
okay,
religious.
okay. So you don't practice anything. Okay, got it.
No, I don't. I
I
don't,
mean that's okay. I mean, but it's good to know about your culture. It's good to
bro.
know.
I know my culture. I
Yeah,
know
well,
my
we were
culture.
asking you about the chi and about see, because the thing is, if you know about your culture, right, then you can be able to tell us what's similar, what y'all do in your tradition that the Jews do, the people that call themselves Jews,
Okay, I
Judaism.
will say this. Okay, so I will say this. Uh, naming ceremony and circumcision. Now, as time has come, as we moved into modernity, a lot of that stuff was lost. But a lot of these old, like my grandfather, God rest his soul, but um, that of that era, they would do a lot of things. The child wouldn't be named to a certain. They'd wait. I believe it was 7 days. Circumcision wasn't done until like the seventh day. Those type of practices. I mean, it's even Chinua Achebe even wrote about that. These are a lot of things that um, our people did. So
Okay.
My tribe from Liberia have a similar practice. We're not Jewish.
that's what I'm saying. Okay, but here's the thing: to call it Jewish is a new term that these people have brought into the
But
fold.
you're not.
They
But you're
never
not.
called themselves this. They never called themselves this.
So what did you call it? So what
Okay,
did you?
but
Just what do you call? So what do you call it?
they go by the ethnicity. They don't. It wasn't this necessary. Oh, this is my religion. That's
So
something
so is
new.
it so is
African
it chi?
spirituality. They
Is
never
it
had a
chi?
name for these things.
Is it chi? Is that the name of it? I'm learning. Is it chi?
That's the God. That's God.
Okay, well help
Chi
me
just
out.
means that's God. That's
Okay,
just God.
well help me
But
out.
Yes, that's a major
okay, bro.
thing.
Well, you know
It's
what I'm
just
talking about.
God. And what do you
It's
call the
God. It's
deities? What's the name? And the Yorubas call them Orishas. What do you guys call them?
well, even so, I know like people from Arachuku, they have their own oracles or deities, and they have their own gods that they call. But those are Igbo. They speak Igbo. They're considered Igbo people.
And what are
Okay,
the
but
oracle? What's the oracle called? What's the name of the oracle?
they call it Chi. Their god
So
is Chi. They call it
okay, that's God, but
Chi.
that's
That's
not the
why. That's
oracle.
why
That's not the geomancy system that they. What's the name of the geomancy system that they?
I
And
don't
and
know.
the
I'm not from.
Yorubas call it Ifa.
I'm not from Arachuku, so I wouldn't know. You have to ask
Okay.
someone. You have to
So,
ask
but what
somebody
about
from
your
Arachuku.
family? Where your family's from?
My family. What about in Imo State? What do
Yeah.
they do? What?
What is the name of the divination system from where your family's from?
They don't have a name for it.
Oh,
They don't. There's
okay.
no name for it.
What's the name of the practice? There's no name for the practice of it.
No, there's no name for it.
You just do it, and it ain't got no name to it. That don't make no
They
sense,
don't have
bro.
it. No, they don't have a name for it.
So you have a divination. You practice a divination, and there's no name for the divination
There
or the
is not.
process of it. I
There
don't
is
believe
not
that,
an.
sir.
Okay, that's fine.
No, you're
That's
not. You're
fine.
not. No, that's not true. That's not accurate. You got to have a name for something. You don't just not have a name for it. That don't make no sense. And why you want to connect it to Judaism?
Yeah,
No,
Why?
there's a name for it. I knew the name, but I forgot it. He probably just doesn't know. He probably doesn't practice it. So
A name for
Yeah,
what?
the traditional religious practice of the Igbos.
or the
Um,
divination specifically.
dude. As far as I know, there's no name for it.
No, there's a
Okay,
name for it. There's a name for it.
right.
It's just slipped my mind.
if you don't know it, it's all good. Like if you don't know it, it's okay.
Yeah, just say you don't
Just
know
say you
it.
don't know it. It's okay.
Somebody is saying it's called Odinani or something like that. I don't know what.
Odinani.
Okay, nah.
There you
But I
go. Now
done it.
you
I'm
know the
gonna
name
jump
of
off,
it.
man. I mean,
Yeah, everybody
that's
closed
awesome.
out. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Down in Samir, search for Huru. Peace.
Peace.